The Houston Independent School District has approved $1.2 million to change the names of several schools in the area, which the district says were named after Confederate figures. The board voted for the change earlier this year. Several community members stood up on both sides of the issue to express their feelings. Those against it say it was a change that was pushed on them, and now they are having to foot the bill. Those in favor say it is about equality. The school board says the changes are already underway. However, there is a pending lawsuit against the district claiming the original budget never included the $1.2 million price tag for the name changes. Is it worth taxpayer money to change the school names? That's our topic this half hour. We always like to hear from you. You can chime in on our Fox 26 Facebook page or on Twitter. Just use the hashtag Fox26forlife. Joining us live in the newsroom is our panel led by our senior legal analyst Chris Tritico, Democratic media consultant Mustafa Tamiz, and Republican strategist and public policy analyst Jackie Bally. All right, we've talked about this issue before here on our newscast. Guys, what do you think now with the price tag being approved?
Well, this was always going to move forward, and now we're going to see if a court will stop it long enough for them to move forward with this lawsuit. I don't know where it's going to go. At the end of the day, my opinion hasn't changed. My legal opinion hasn't changed, that the buildings belong to the school district, and the school district gets to pick the name of the schools. And the public, even though the public may not agree with the name change, Mustafa Tamiz, the school district gets to pick the name, and that's at the end of the day that school wins this suit.
Well, I mean, everybody elected the Board of Trustees, and they voted on it. And whether you agree with the debate or disagree with it, regardless of what side you're on, I think nobody liked the tenor of it. It just didn't feel right to talk about it in the way that it got talked about. Most people do support the name change, so I don't think that's the case. And these are public officials that have been elected to make this decision, so it's democracy at work.
$1.2 million is a lot of money at a time.
Which is what I was. The last time we talked about, that was my issue, $1.2 million. Look, they have a $107 million deficit in their budget, and they also have a $200 million shortfall in their bond. Their last superintendent got a $175,000 bonus on top of his $300,000 salary. I often hear, and we often hear, that we need more money in education. This is in our last session, we gave schools more money in education. But when we see how they're spending it, if you're going to take the $1.2 million to change names, instead of putting those resources into the schools and educating those students, there's a problem, especially with these deficits that they have.
What about that? I mean, is this money well spent, or should the money be filtered into the schools and go into the children?
Well, $1 million seems like a lot of money, but for a large school district with 215 or 216,000 kids, you know, this is not where the debate ought to be. It's not about money. It's about the decision for what, you know, the kids shouldn't have to go. Kids of color especially shouldn't have to go to schools that celebrate the Confederacy. And that's what that's about. And I think that we can debate back and forth, but to equate it to the fact that schools shouldn't get more money, and I know that's not what Jackie's saying, but many people that make that debate saying we should give more money because of this, that's just not right either.
Let me go to Sally. She's monitoring our social media.
All right, and the majority of comments on social media are those who are against the name change, and that's typically what you find, right? And when the people who are against it are the ones who are going to be speaking out the most. People who are for it are just, you know, not saying anything. They're happy. Okay, so let's go to Twitter and see some of those comments. So this first one says, silliness, PC police erasing history and Southern heritage. Joe Sarkati, tweeting our new reporter Caitlin Monty, who covered this for us this week, says, couldn't the majority of those dollars go to better causes within the school system, like programs, clubs, etc.? And that's what a lot of people are wondering, is couldn't the money be better spent?
Well, and you know, and I guess, Jackie, we could always find different ways to spend the money.
Yes.
But I think Mustafa's raising a point that needs to be addressed.
Well, the $1.2 million is just for the name changes. What about all the other changes that you have to put with that? You change the name of a school, you have to change the lettering on your band jackets, you have to change a lot of other things.
That's what the $1.2 million covers.
No, the 1.2 is for the name changes of the actual schools, not all the paraphernalia and all the other changes that they have to make. And that was said on two different broadcasts. But the point is, if we're going to frivolously spend $1.2 million instead of putting it into the classrooms, how else are they spending their money? And look, when we see this budget deficit that they have, we need to look at it more closely to see that there's not mismanagement overall.
Well, we're going to leave it right there. We'll be back in the next hour covering two really good topics.
Okay, we will look forward to seeing you all then.